Of all the things that drive success in business, one of the most underestimated is the power of sensory experience. It's easy to focus on numbers, marketing strategies, and competition. But the truth is, people don't just buy products or services, they buy experiences. They remember how something made them feel, how it connected with them on a deeper level. This is where sensory marketing becomes a game changer. The most successful brands in the world understand that engaging the senses, sight, sound, touch, even smell, creates a lasting impression. It builds familiarity, trust, and emotional connection, which in turn drives loyalty. Consider the way a simple sound can trigger a memory. A familiar jingle, the gentle rustling of packaging, even the way a product clicks when it opens. All of these details shape the customer's perception. Think about why luxury brands invest so heavily in packaging, or why tech companies focus on the feel of a device in your hands. It's not just about function, it's about experience. A sleek design, a smooth texture, the soft glow of a screen. These things don't happen by accident. They are meticulously crafted to make a product more desirable, to create a sense of exclusivity, and to keep people coming back. The same principle applies to sound. In recent years, we've seen the rise of ASMR and sound-based marketing strategies because people respond to what feels good, what relaxes them, what stimulates their curiosity. This isn't just entertainment, it's business psychology at its finest. Have you ever noticed how the background music in a store is carefully selected? It's not random. It's chosen to make you feel a certain way, to slow you down, to make the shopping experience more enjoyable. Restaurants do the same thing. Fast food chains often play faster, upbeat music because it subconsciously encourages people to eat quickly and leave, making room for more customers. On the other hand, high-end restaurants play soft, relaxing music to create an atmosphere of comfort and indulgence, keeping guests at their tables longer. These are deliberate strategies based on how people react to sound. Now, let's talk about the power of touch. If you've ever walked into a retail store and felt drawn to pick something up, that wasn't just curiosity, it was strategy. Studies have shown that the moment a person physically engages with a product, they are more likely to buy it. This is why stores encourage hands-on interaction. Apple stores don't keep their devices locked behind glass. They encourage you to hold them, feel the weight, experience the responsiveness. Clothing brands know that soft textures, quality stitching, and comfortable fabric create a subconscious sense of value. Even scent plays a role. Businesses have long used signature scents to create a sense of familiarity. Think about how certain stores have a distinct smell the moment you walk in. It's not a coincidence. Hotels, high-end boutiques, even car dealerships use fragrance to enhance customer experience. The goal is to create a sensory imprint, something people associate with the brand on an instinctive level. When you walk into a luxury car showroom and smell that new leather interior, it's not just about the car, it's about the feeling it creates. It's about aspiration, it's about prestige. Every successful business understands that sensory experience isn't an afterthought, it's a core part of strategy. When you're building a brand, whether it's a product, a service, or even content, you have to ask yourself, how does it feel? How does it sound? How does it engage people on a deeper level? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about selling, it's about creating something people don't just want, but feel connected to. And when you do that right, success isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. If there's one thing that separates businesses that thrive from those that struggle, it's understanding the value of a niche. The world is full of broad markets, but the most successful businesses don't try to appeal to everyone. They focus on serving a specific group of people exceptionally well. There's power in knowing exactly who you're speaking to, what they need, and how to provide it better than anyone else. Some of the biggest brands today didn't start by dominating the entire industry. They started by owning a small, dedicated corner of the market. Look at companies that began as niche specialists, offering a very specific product or service, and eventually built empires. They gained traction not by being everything to everyone, but by being everything to the right people. Because in business, it's not about casting the widest net, it's about building the deepest connection. Think about the communities that form around niche interests. When people feel like something is made specifically for them, they don't just become customers, they become loyal advocates. They spread the word, they engage, they come back again and again. This is why niche markets are so powerful. Whether it's a particular lifestyle, a unique hobby, or even a sensory experience like ASMR, the people who resonate with it don't just appreciate it, they actively seek it out. A perfect example of this is how certain content creators have found massive success by tapping into incredibly specific markets. There are people who create entire businesses around something as simple as sound experiences, relaxation techniques, or even the aesthetics of daily rituals. To the outside world, these might seem like small or obscure interests, but to the people who care, they are everything. And those businesses that understand this, that recognize the power of specialization, are the ones that succeed. This applies across industries. Take fitness, for example. There are countless personal trainers out there, but the ones who build the strongest brands aren't just fitness coaches. They're the experts in a particular type of training. Some specialize in high-performance athletes, others in post-pregnancy fitness, others in body weight-only workouts. By narrowing their focus, they create a strong, dedicated following. The same applies in fashion, technology, food, and even finance. People don't want generic. They want something that speaks directly to them. One of the biggest mistakes businesses make is trying to be too broad. They think that by appealing to everyone, they'll increase their chances of success. But in reality, the more general something is, the less it resonates. If you try to market to the entire world, your message gets lost. But if you focus on a specific audience, one that feels seen, heard, and understood, you create something far more valuable. You create belonging. The beauty of niche markets is that they are self-sustaining. When you serve a tight-knit community well, that community does the marketing for you. They share, they recommend, they build conversations around what you offer. The loyalty is stronger because people feel like they're part of something that truly understands them. And here's the real magic of it. Once you dominate a niche, expansion becomes easier. When you've built trust within a focused audience, you can naturally branch out into related areas because your foundation is strong. You're not trying to force your way into a market, you're growing from a position of strength. So the lesson is clear. If you want to build something successful, don't chase the masses. Find your people. Serve them better than anyone else. Because when you do, they won't just follow your business, they'll become part of it. Content is the foundation of any successful business. It doesn't matter if you're selling a product, a service, or an idea. If you're not capturing attention and engaging people, you're invisible. And in a world where competition is fierce and distractions are endless, invisibility is the quickest path to failure. Businesses that thrive understand that content isn't just about putting something out into the world. It's about crafting an experience, telling a story, and creating something that people genuinely want to engage with. People don't just buy from businesses, they connect with them. And that connection is built through the content they consume. Every advertisement, every video, every social media post, every interaction. It all adds up to something bigger. It shapes perception, it builds trust, it establishes authority, and when done right, it makes people feel like they are part of something, rather than just being sold to. It's easy to assume that having a great product or service is enough. But the truth is, the best product in the world doesn't matter if nobody knows about it. Businesses live and die by the way they communicate their value, and that communication happens through content. The way a brand presents itself, the way it speaks, the way it makes people feel, this is what drives engagement. It's what keeps customers coming back. Engagement is the real currency of modern business. A product can be replicated, a price can be beaten, but a strong connection with an audience is irreplaceable. Look at the most successful brands in any industry, and you'll see they don't just sell things, they create movements. They don't just provide a service, they tell a story. They give people something to connect with on an emotional level. One of the most powerful examples of this can be seen in the rise of digital creators. There are people who have built massive businesses purely on their ability to engage an audience. They don't necessarily have the biggest budgets or the most traditional marketing strategies, but what they do have is something even more valuable. They understand how to keep people interested, how to make them feel something, and how to build a loyal following. And businesses that recognize the importance of engagement take the same approach. It's not enough to put content out into the world and hope people notice. The key is to make them care, and that happens by being authentic, by being consistent, and by delivering value. It's about understanding what people need, what they enjoy, what they respond to, and then creating something that speaks directly to them. A brand that only talks about itself will never build lasting relationships, but a brand that listens, that interacts, that creates conversations, this is a brand that people remember. Businesses that get this right understand that engagement isn't just about broadcasting a message, it's about fostering a dialogue. It's about making people feel heard, valued, and connected. And this is where consistency comes into play. One great piece of content isn't enough. Engagement isn't built overnight. It's built through repetition, through reliability, through showing up again and again with something valuable to offer. Businesses that stay top of mind are the ones that don't disappear when things get quiet. They are the ones that continue to provide, continue to innovate, continue to create. This is why content isn't just a marketing strategy, it's the lifeblood of a successful business. It's what shapes reputation, builds trust, and keeps customers engaged. And in a world where attention is everything, the businesses that master this are the ones that rise above the noise. Because in the end, success doesn't go to the loudest voice, it goes to the one people actually want to listen to. Business is never static. The moment you believe you have it all figured out, the market shifts, consumer preferences evolve, and new trends emerge. Adaptation isn't just a skill, it's a necessity. Those who resist change eventually get left behind, while those who embrace it find themselves ahead of the curve, capitalizing on opportunities before others even recognize them. The ability to stay aware of trends, pivot when necessary, and continuously refine strategy is what separates businesses that survive from those that dominate. The most successful companies don't wait for change to force their hand, they anticipate it. They don't cling to what worked yesterday, they focus on what will work tomorrow. They recognize that what was effective 5 years ago might be obsolete today, and they aren't afraid to adjust their approach. This kind of adaptability doesn't happen by accident. It comes from a mindset, one that values curiosity, continuous learning, and the willingness to experiment. Think about the businesses that have stood the test of time. They didn't do so by staying rigid, they evolved. They took risks. They saw where the world was going and positioned themselves accordingly. Some of the most well-known brands today started in industries completely different from where they ended up. They had a vision, but more importantly, they had flexibility. They understood that no matter how great a product or service is, it has to remain relevant. Relevance is everything. A business can't afford to rely on what worked in the past if the market is moving forward. Look at the rise and fall of companies that once seemed untouchable. Many of them failed not because they had a bad product, but because they refused to adapt. They ignored changing consumer behavior, dismissed new technology, and assumed that their past success guaranteed future security. It never does. The businesses that win are the ones that listen. They listen to their customers, to the culture, to the subtle shifts happening in their industry. They recognize when a new platform is emerging, when consumer expectations are shifting, and when old strategies need to be abandoned. They aren't afraid to innovate, to try something new, to take bold steps forward while others hesitate. One of the clearest examples of this can be seen in the digital world. Entire industries have been reshaped by companies that saw where things were heading before anyone else did. They didn't wait for trends to fully develop, they helped create them. Whether it was social media, streaming services, or e-commerce, the businesses that took the lead weren't necessarily the biggest at the start, they were the ones willing to evolve. But adaptation isn't just about technology, it's about mindset. It's about being open to new ideas, even if they challenge what you've always done. It's about understanding that the only constant in business is change. And the more comfortable you become with that reality, the stronger you will be. There's no such thing as a perfect strategy, only a relevant one. And relevance is a moving target. The businesses that recognize this truth don't fear change. They embrace it. They treat every shift in the market as an opportunity rather than a threat. And because of that, they are never left scrambling to catch up. They are always one step ahead. So the lesson is simple. The moment you stop evolving is the moment you start falling behind. Stay aware, stay flexible, stay willing to grow, because in a world that never stops changing, only those who are willing to adapt will stand the test of time. Success in business isn't built on moments of inspiration or one-time victories. It's built on consistency. The brands that stand out, the businesses that last, the entrepreneurs who make an impact, none of them rely on luck. They rely on showing up day after day, delivering value, reinforcing their identity, and proving to their audience that they are here to stay. In a world filled with distractions, inconsistency is the quickest way to be forgotten. But when a business is consistent, when it delivers quality, reliability, and a clear message over and over again, it becomes impossible to ignore. Trust isn't given, it's earned. And it's earned through repeated actions, not one-time promises. Think about the companies that have built the strongest reputations. It's not because they had one great product launch or one viral marketing campaign. It's because they kept showing up. They kept delivering. They kept reinforcing what they stood for. When people know what to expect from a brand and that brand delivers on its promise every time, trust forms. And trust is the foundation of loyalty. Loyalty isn't just about customers making repeat purchases. It's about them believing in what a business represents. It's about them feeling a connection so strong that they don't just buy a product or service, they buy into the brand itself. That kind of connection doesn't happen overnight. It happens through consistent messaging, consistent quality, and a consistent experience. Whether it's the way a brand communicates, the way it packages its products, the way it handles customer service, or the way it innovates, every interaction reinforces an identity. And that identity, when repeated consistently, becomes powerful. But consistency isn't just about external perception. It's also about internal discipline. It's easy to get excited about an idea and put in effort for a short time. The challenge is maintaining that effort when the excitement fades, when obstacles arise, when things don't go according to plan. This is where most businesses struggle. They start strong but lose momentum. They get discouraged when results don't come fast enough. They pivot too quickly, abandon strategies before they've had time to work, or become inconsistent in their execution. The ones that succeed understand that results don't come from bursts of effort, they come from sustained commitment. It's the same principle behind any great achievement. Athletes don't become champions by training occasionally. Artists don't master their craft by practicing when they feel like it. Businesses don't build lasting success by being active only when things are easy. The true measure of success is the ability to keep going, to keep refining, to keep showing up even when the rewards aren't immediate. The digital world has made consistency even more critical. In an era where consumers are bombarded with options, the brands that stay in front of them the most are the ones they remember. If a business posts content sporadically, communicates inconsistently, or frequently shifts its messaging, it confuses its audience. But if it maintains a steady presence, continuously engages and reinforces its value, it builds recognition. And recognition over time leads to trust. This is why businesses that master consistency gain an edge that others can't replicate. Anyone can create a great product, launch a creative campaign, or have a moment of success. But not everyone can sustain it. Not everyone has the patience to keep building when progress feels slow, the discipline to stick to a strategy long enough for it to work, or the commitment to keep refining their craft day after day. Those who do are the ones who last. Success isn't about being the best once, it's about being great consistently. It's about showing up, delivering value, and proving time and time again that you are worth paying attention to. Because when you do that, people don't just notice, you become impossible to ignore. Every successful business, every lasting brand, every great entrepreneur understands one fundamental truth. Business is not just about numbers, strategies, or competition. At its core, business is about people. It's about relationships, trust, and the ability to connect on a level that goes beyond transaction. The companies that thrive are not the ones that simply sell products or services. They are the ones that build communities, inspire loyalty, and create meaningful experiences for the people they serve. Because no matter how advanced technology becomes, No matter how fast industries evolve, one thing remains constant. People want to feel valued, understood, and respected. A business that sees its customers as numbers on a spreadsheet will never create the kind of impact that one does when it sees them as real people with real needs, desires, and emotions. The brands that last don't just ask, how can we sell more? They ask, how can we serve better? That shift in perspective makes all the difference. Because when people feel like a business truly cares about them, when they see that it's not just about making a sale, but about solving a problem, improving their lives, or adding value, they don't just buy, they believe. And belief is far more powerful than any marketing strategy. Trust is the most valuable currency in business. A company can have the best advertising campaign, the most cutting-edge product, or the lowest prices, but if people don't trust it, none of that matters. And trust isn't built through words alone, it's built through actions. It's built through consistency, honesty, and the willingness to put people first, even when it's not the most profitable option in the short term. Some of the most successful businesses in the world became leaders in their industries not because they had the biggest budgets, but because they earned the trust of their audience. They focused on the customer experience, on delivering value, on building long-term relationships rather than chasing quick wins. And because of that, people didn't just buy from them once, they kept coming back. They became advocates, ambassadors, and lifelong supporters. Customer loyalty isn't something that happens by accident. It's something that is earned over time through genuine engagement, transparency, and a commitment to excellence. It's built when a business goes beyond what is expected, when it listens to its audience, when it adapts to their needs, and when it treats them not as a means to an end, but as the foundation of everything it does. But it's not just about customers, it's about people at every level. The way a business treats its employees, its partners, and its community all play a role in shaping its success. A company that values its team creates an environment where people are motivated, inspired, and willing to go the extra mile. And when that kind of culture is in place, it reflects in every interaction, every product, and every service. Because a business is only as strong as the people behind it. In a world that is becoming increasingly digital, where automation and artificial intelligence are changing the way businesses operate, the human element is more important than ever. Technology can enhance efficiency, data can inform decisions, and automation can streamline processes, but nothing can replace the power of genuine human connection. People want to do business with those they trust, those they feel connected to, and those who make them feel seen and heard. The most successful businesses understand this. They engage with their audience, they create experiences that go beyond the product and focus on the people they serve. They understand that every interaction, no matter how small, is an opportunity to build trust, reinforce their values, and leave a lasting impression. At the end of the day, business is not about selling, it's about serving. It's about creating value, building trust, and making a difference in people's lives. Because when people believe in what you do, when they trust that you have their best interests at heart, they don't just support your business, they become part of it.